We have learned that infrared waves are responsible for heating of the earth or greenhouse effect, but this not every time this greenhouse effect is bad. It is also good because it maintains the earth's temperature, otherwise earth will be freezing. Incoming visible light, which passes relatively easily through the atmosphere, is absorbed by the earth's surface. So now this light coming off from sun, it has all the components: UV, visible light and IR. All three components are there in sun's radiation. So incoming visible light, which passes relatively easy through the atmosphere. So this visible light easily passes through this atmosphere, is absorbed by the earth's surface. So what absorb this visible light? Earth's surface, and radiate as infrared longer wavelength radiation. So this is absorbed by this earth. So this earth heats up and then it releases the IR radiation. Visible light is absorbed by the earth and it is radiated back, or it reflects back the IR radiation. So visible is absorbed, IR is emitted, or IR is reflected. So this is radiated as infrared, because we have also learned that every heated body produces IR radiation. So we all know that earth is heated when there is a visible light, and this produces the IR radiation. This radiation is trapped by greenhouse gases. What are the greenhouse gases? CO2, NH3 and others, such as carbon dioxide and water vapor. Water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. So water in form of vapor is a greenhouse gas. Infrared detectors are used in Earth's satellites, both for military purpose and to observe the growth of crops. So this was the first we learned about greenhouse effect. So if there is more CO2, more and more IR radiation is trapped inside the earth, and earth will keep on getting warmer. Apart from that, we learned that infrared sensors are used in many of the devices, earth satellite and military purposes, and to observe the growth of crops. So we have these infrared sensors. Electronic devices, for example semiconductor light emitting diode, also emit infrared. So these diodes also emit infrared rays, especially our TV remote, especially our TV remotes, and are widely used in remote switches of household electronic systems such as TV sets, video recorders and hi-fi systems. So the remote works. So something is coming out of that remote, but why could not we see that rays? Because those rays are not visible but infrared rays, and our eyes are not sensitive to infrared rays. So our TV remote produces the infrared rays, and those rays are captured by the TV set. So in this way we cannot see the rays, but there are invisible rays that are taking the signal from remote to the television. Now next is the visible rays. So we have already learned from 400 to 700 nanometer, these are visible. Just below visible, that means 390 and less, are UV. Just above the visible are IR. So IR we have learned. Now we are going to learn about visible. It is the most familiar form of electromagnetic waves. So what is the most familiar? Visible rays or the normal light. It is the part of the spectrum that is detected by human eye. So this is the only radiation that our eyes can detect. It runs from 4 into 10 to power 14 hertz to 7 into 10 to power 14 hertz. So this is in frequency range. This is in frequency range 4 into 10 to power 14 hertz to 7 into 10 to power 14 hertz. So this is very high frequency. From wavelength, it is from 700 nanometer to 400 nanometer. One side 700 nanometer, other side 400 nanometer. Visible light emitted or reflected from objects around us provide us the information about the world. So how can we see objects? So visible light falls on this object and it reflects back from the same object. Then we can see this object. Our eyes are sensitive to this range of wavelengths. So our eyes are sensible sensitive only to this range. Different animals are sensitive to different ranges. For example, snakes can detect IR waves. Snakes can see IR waves, and the visible range of many insects extends well into ultraviolet. So our eyes are only sensible to or sensitive to visible range, but snakes can see this IR as well, visible plus IR. Some insects can see visible plus UV as well. So this completely depends on how our eyes are evolved in the evolution. Next are ultraviolet rays. So this is just below the visible range. It covers wavelengths ranging from 4 into 10 to power minus 7 meter, that means 400 nanometer and below than that, down to 6 into 10 to power minus 10 meter, that means 0.6 nanometer. So up to 400 we have seen this was visible, and below that UV starts. UV range now started. So what is the range? 400 nanometer to 0.6 nanometer. Ultraviolet radiation is produced by special lamps and very hot bodies. So these are not generated by normal bodies but by special lamps or very hot bodies. The sun is an important source of ultraviolet light. So our sun also produces ultraviolet light. This is very big source of UV rays. But fortunately, most of it is absorbed in the ozone layer. So our earth has a protective layer of ozone. So most of the UV rays are absorbed in this ozone layer. And very less amount of UV comes to us. Most of that is absorbed. So fortunately, most of this is absorbed in the ozone layer in the atmosphere at an altitude of 40 to 50 kilometer. That means from 40 to 50 kilometer from Earth's height, most of this is absorbed. UV light in large quantity has harmful effect on humans. So if we keep on getting this UV light, so there are many harms. Exposure to UV radiation induces the production of more melanin, causing tanning of skin. So suppose if we are taking UV, so what will happen? So there will be more melanin produced. Melanin is a pigment which gives our skin its color. So if we are getting more and more UV, our skin will be tanned. That means tanning means darkening of skin will happen. UV radiation is absorbed by ordinary glass. So the ordinary glass which is transparent to visible radiation, UV cannot pass through ordinary glass. This ordinary glass is black in the UV radiation. Hence one cannot get tanned or sunburned through glass windows. So if there are glass windows, so UV cannot go through these glass windows. So one cannot get UV radiation through these glass window, or will not burn through UV if there are glass windows. Welders wear special glasses or goggles or face masks with glass windows to protect their eyes from large amount of UV produced by welding arcs. So most of us have seen how the welders work. So they wear a special glass goggles or a special face mask or helmet type of a structure to protect their eyes. Otherwise their eyes will be damaged by these UV radiations. Due to its shorter wavelengths, UV radiation can be focused into very narrow beams for high precision applications such as LASIK. So we know now the wavelengths are getting shorter and shorter. So we have reached at a range of 0.4 meter to 400 nanometer. So these are very small wavelengths. Since wavelengths are small, so these rays can be focused into very narrow beams, very thin beams. And what we can do with them? High precision applications such as laser surgery, laser assisted in situ keratomyelitis. That means laser eye surgery we can do with this UV rays, because these can be very focused. UV lamps are used to kill germs in water purifiers. This has also very good use. We purify our water using the UV lamps because this kill the germs. Ozone layer in the atmosphere plays a protective role. So this ozone layer is a very important, and hence depletion of the chlorofluorocarbon depletion by the chlorofluorocarbons, CFC gas such as freon is a matter of international concern. So there are some CFC gases. Previously, normal refrigerators in our home used these gases. Now these gases are banned. So these gases were so bad that they were harming the ozone layer, which protects us from UV radiation. So here only one problem with the UV radiation is written, that means our skin will be dark, but major problem with the UV radiation is cancer. If we get too much UV, so we will get cancer. So that's why this ozone layer is very necessary to protect ourselves, otherwise all of us will die of cancer. Hence we all should protect the ozone layer from damage just by reducing the emission of these chlorofluorocarbons.